Well, that was an interesting drive home last night. A worker or somebody at the airport obviously doesn't know how to drive. I would laugh and argue that it's an airplane pilot or a pilot, simply because they can almost basically beeline it to their destination. But my guess is it was actually somebody that I probably actually knew, which is worse. Looks like it might rain today. I really don't want it to rain today. But anyways, got a slow driver here. Honda. And Nissan doesn't know how to stay in one lane. Stop twirling your hair and that's twice now you're in that lane. Oh, that's one tagged Nissan up there, that blue Nissan. I wonder what the heck that was all about. People, when the roach coach is driving faster than you, you know you're not going the speed limit. wonder if there's like a wide angle lens thing that you could, or fisheye lens thing that you could add on to these phones, so that when you record stuff like this, you can get a whole view of everything. Got a Honda coming up on me. I'm already 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. Not much to talk about. Just a driving episode, I guess. Still tripping off of that stupid driver yesterday. boring drive. The whole way here, though, I was keeping an eye out for that idiot. Oh! That's... I see my coworker, David. Hey, he's over at the right corner now. Saw me. I did that just so you can see me. He pulls a lot of doubles and triples. So much so that the supervisors had to talk to him about it. Well, that's what unions are great for. Unions are great because if you've worked here, well, first and foremost, usually what happens when a union is put in place is they get you a higher wage. So therefore you are paid more, so you don't have to pull the doubles and triples as much. And then there's when you've worked there a certain amount of time. Oh, I thought there was a parking spot over here. I thought I saw an empty parking spot, but it was not. Anyways, after you've worked there for a while, they will increase. You get a mandatory increase in pay. Go down one more. Yeah, and that could work in both in your favor and not in your favor. It could work in your favor if you believe you are working better than everybody and deserve a raise. But you can't get one until later on. But then again, if you are just an average employee that normally would never get a raise, a union is great for you because it gives you a mandatory increase in pay based off of how many years you've worked there. But other than that, I mean, there's good points and bad points to unions. I'm for the unions, mainly because if you screw something up, that's not really something that you should get fired over, and you get fired, then you go to the union and they fight to get your job back. Now, your union may or may not be a good union with good reps. If that's the case, then you're going to lose your job. But if they're good at what they do, then you'll get your job back. And I did that when I was working at Food Max out in California. They fired me because apparently I wasn't cleaning the department good enough. So I got my job back because they found the union found out that I was breaking down the machinery, which I was not supposed to do. Only the butchers are allowed to do that. And then they fired me again for taking too long to clean, but they wanted me to do 50 other things while I clean. So that wasn't happening. So I got my job back again because they found out that I was still breaking down the machinery. Because if I couldn't break down the machinery, then, or if I didn't, then the machinery didn't get cleaned properly. And then they said that I wasn't cleaning good enough again, and the union said, you know what? This is bullshit. We're going to get you your job back if you want it. I said, I can't be losing a job, losing a week here, losing a week there. It's not profitable for me. It's not good for me. Because every time they would fire me, they would put me on suspension for a whole week or two, depending on when the payday is. And that's another thing. When a company, there's a way around this. When a company fires you, they have within, depending on what state you're in, roughly 24 to 48 hours to give you your final paycheck. Now, I've heard that it's 72 hours or something here in Arizona, but I've read that it was 48 hours. I have recently checked it, and it seems to keep changing here in Arizona. It keeps changing. What is it? In California, however, it's like within 48 hours. So to get around that, what they do is they put you on suspension, and then when it's payday, they fire you. I know that's something that I'm going to bring up with the union. Once I almost guarantee you the union, because right now there's a union being there's a vote to have a union or not to have a union on the November 10th, and I'm going to vote yes for the union. But then I'm going to, when I go and when I join the union, what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that that policy of putting somebody on suspension before firing them is null and void, basically. So there's that. And then the other thing is logging out. We have a time machine, not a time machine, a machine that clocks your logged hours. Upside to it is you can log in whenever. Doesn't matter. Whenever you log in. You punch in your code, you put your hand in it, and it scans your hand, and it says, okay, you logged in, basically. But if you log out, let's say you work 10 minutes overtime, and you log out, they're not going to pay you. Because they didn't know that you worked overtime. They're going to assume you just logged out late. And they're going to pay you the straight 8 hours that you worked that day. And I believe that's illegal. That's illegal in just about any state. I know in California, if you work hours, if you work time after your scheduled work hours, whether it's approved or not approved, you still get paid regardless. So if I had a late flight and it took me 20, 30 minutes after I was supposed to log out, they have to pay me that 30 minutes. So that's my thought. That's what I'm going to get done and all that stuff when the union... And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I can tell you right now that most of the employees are not happy the way things are right now. So introducing a union will change things up, probably for the better. I only know one person in the company that is completely against unions. And he has no warrant, except for that his only statement is that unions are shitty. That's it. That's his only excuse. So I'm gonna head on to work. See you guys later.